The only thing that might be good about our current solar geomagnetic storms that are hitting the Earth at the highest it's ever been in years, is that, yeah, I mean, it's Friday, it's kind of going on now, but it's going to come on within the next few days. The sun itself is in Taurus and it's trine, well, it happens to be conjunct Uranus during this spell. I don't doubt that there's going to be some kind of major Earth shifts. There was a tiny bit of a um, earthquake here in my area, and I live next to the San Andreas Fault, and I guess might have a big one, but but there's a huge solar storm, and the only thing good about it that I can feel is that it does trine my Venus. The sun is trining my Venus, and so is the Uranus conjunction, and I managed to land a job through an advertisement that I put up yesterday, and it's the same people that got services from me the last time that I advertised, and I think they're happy with what I did. And I even am charging $10 an hour more, which is, I think is fair. People don't really understand. Well, it is kind of tedious work, it's not exactly fun work, yard work, just the fire abatement. But, um, well, there is a way to do it. There's a way to meditate and get it done efficiently and leave and beautify. That's the name of my game with my Venus and Virgo in the sixth house of career or job orientation really is service to people, service to humanity. What you do as service, what you do as work, what works. Anyway, beautification, wherever I go, whatever it is. I mean, if I could be flipping hamburgers, then you can bet something will be going on with me that beautifies the whole scene over there. Gets a tip, for sure. So congratulate me with my new money-making endeavors, which is like, I just have to take my time. I can't bust my ass. Even though I don't want to take my time, I just want to get it done. So anyway, thanks for listening to that. Just going to get physical. We'll see the difference between now and tomorrow, although with the solar storm thing going on. See, I think it's technically going on right now, this is the 10th. So, but I'm putting this later on, like on the 13th or something. Been doing a lot of videos since Mercury has been creeping up on my Mercury and wrapping up what it's meant to do to my generation or any Libra planets. I call my generation is the Libra, Pluto in Libra and Uranus in Libra, and I happen to have Mercury conjunct Uranus, so we have a little stimulation going on with the opposition with Mars, and I'm Mars ruled anyway, and when Mars goes into Taurus, it's going to calm down. It's kind of a passive-aggressive situation in Taurus, I think. It's kind of sneaky because it's in a feminine Venetian sign. The Mars is now ruled by Venus. I think that I can imagine that some of those Mars and Taurus people out there have a little bit of a strong but suppressed or repressed or not so apparent sex drive. I imagine it's like the Taurus, but it's like the bull wearing a satin. I don't know, God. Anyway, so but having mentioned, let's see what happens this time next. Tomorrow I'm going to be done with that job and I don't imagine I'll be finishing it up tomorrow. I'll probably come back and work on it another hour or two. And but the solar storms are happening now, and I'm feeling really. I've been having a hard time sleeping anyway, worrying myself to death about some things. But the solar impacts, I know my body feels those things. I'm very into the earth, and so I tried to do some earthing today, put my feet on the ground, and I was trying to explain earlier if the videos get out. I don't know when they're going to come out. Some of them are jumbled up, maybe stemming up into the 14th, but this is the 10th, and trying to do a little earthing to try and stabilize during the solar storm. Very wise thing to do, I think, because the sun's an earth. I think it's so important to have meditate and get into virgin earth is what I like to call it. This where there's dirt, weeds, but trees, birds, someplace where you can get into the garden, a place where that stuff is going on, where there's butterflies and birds and bees and trees and leaves, and because there's a tremendous amount of energy that you can gain from breathing in the good ass prana. Because a lot of crisis going on in the world, and if you're able to do that in the first place, I mean, really, of course, with that going on, but with the solar flares and stuff could come more stuff with the conjunctions with Uranus, which will be a line of stuff happening here. It's the sun, as far as I know, is like coming right up with this solar flares right now. Let's see when this the sun on Monday. So we have this weekend we're going through, and then on the 13th, that's when Uranus is it's conjuncting Uranus, and then Venus is going to do that in about a few more days on Friday, or actually on Saturday, that coming Saturday. That's Venus is Earth ruled. It's in a sign of Earth. Don't doubt that the Earth is going to be doing a jigger, and then we have Mercury that's going to go into Earth by Friday, also Saturday, um, and I look forward to those late planets in Earth because they trine. My late planet in Earth is 23 Venus, and like I said, I'm feeling very, very. What little I tried to do, as far as earthing and grounding, nourishing myself, really worked. But the bottom line is for everybody, these solar flares are tearing through your body on a plasmatic level, like on a very molecular, atomic level. You don't know it, but it affects us. We're dealing with a holographic field here, the plasmatic field, and I think it's a feeder. It feeds our awareness even. I do think the sun has a lot to do with our collective reality as the true router of what we are gathering of our outer space, which is just beyond the nose here, and it's all kind of who knows what. See, I'll continue on talking about the sun. See, they try to tell us what the sun is, and it doesn't make any sense to say, well, and because of its hot core, it has a core, and the core of the sun it generates. Where does it come from? It just all of a sudden it just has a core, and the plasmatic field, and all this amazing stuff is going on because it has a core, and it goes out. No, it's a portal. It is a portal, and it's not like a core like you think. There's a whole other spectrum of light that we can't see, and activity, perhaps, of course, because it's so bright. But whatever's lighting that darn thing on the other side, see, I'd say it's the other. That's a black hole. It's the other side of a massive black hole that all of this energy, and who knows really how it's working. Really, I don't know, but no, I think it is. It is like that. That it's not, doesn't have a core. It's drawing energy in to it. It's really using a tremendous amount of fuel to do what it's doing. It's a different design that you think is just a round ball that has a core. I think it's looking like that, but it's more like a cone, and the core is there, and then there's a cone on the other side, and drawing in and shooting out. How about that? How do you like that? Maybe, kids. All I know is that it felt mighty good, but I'm feeling these waves, and I just got this job coming up tomorrow, and it's like, okay, Shauna, you're gonna do this during the fucking solar storm. Just gonna have to tell these people, please bear with us all, everybody. We are going through a magnetic electrical storm from the sun, and I'm highly affected. I mean, it does affect your cardio and everything that has, well, iron in it. Your blood has iron in it, for sure. I mean, if it's magnetic electrical, everything really. And it's a good time to just relax. But I'm grateful for, I mean, I guess I could put the job off and be a weirdo and say, well, I want the electromagnetic storm, the geomagnetic storm to pass over, please, and I'll get on back on it on Monday. Pardon me, but I worry too much. I would rather get up in the morning and just do it. I'm going to try to get some sleep, and I'm sure that person would understand if I call it off a day or two. I mean, it's kind of Idlewildish of us, but I don't live like that. I say Idlewildish. No, you have more integrity, stick to your word, and do what you say that you're going to do, and be on time, and get the job done right, and leave a good vibe than when you came. Thanks for listening to the Venus and Virgo. Just can't really get into being too irate. Not with the it's kind of, I was going to say, not with the Taurus planets in the air, but Taurus, when it moves into when Mars moves into Taurus, it's like, okay, so now Mars is going to turn into a hothead that is very diva like, and if we known Mars to fly off the handle, I think that's when it does, when it's right in between the degrees of 29 Aries and early Taurus. The Mars planets, and they're probably going to be, it's like transitioning over to, yeah, like I said, the diva, the irate person that gets really upset because something is not of good quality, or it's too loud or something. It has something to do with the empath, and like I said, Mars and Venus, ruled by Venus. It's like, oh no, that person, make sure they have everything just right. Did you get your bath today? God. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bottom line is that the solar storms right now affecting everybody for the next 3 days. So if you get this on the 13th, it's just kind of, been feeling it? It starts here on the 10th. I'm feeling it, and main thing to feel is the earth. The earth, what is really being communicated. It's not a bad thing when the sun is communicating to us all with its halographic offering. I think it's very peculiar. They call it the coronal mass ejection. It's like one word away from saying corona mass ejection. Coronal mass ejection. And definitely they're trying to let us know about something through language, or just, it's a way of passage intergalactically to slur some things together, and it makes it look like that we're all consenting on something. It's like, no, we don't consent to going up NASA cavity. Nasal is what NASA is, just one L away from being nasal. And would you stop away from messing with our corona? However, it's related. You have to do it. You got to do it. Just be crazy with me. Think with me. Think with me. It's the same as saying, be crazy with me. Thank you for enjoying this today. I'll try to get over the solar thing. It's like, well, I bet you anything sleep is a very good idea now that I feel like my, it's like you're getting pulverized. You're kind of getting jumbled up a little bit. I know I am a little bit, but I'm fine. It's been a little bit stressful for the past month. Now we're going into April, into May, and with the conjunctions with Uranus, like I said, wow, why is the sun acting up? And so, but that can cause Earth changes. It has to do with Earth, and it's like, I like the way Ralph Smart put it. He's like, well, just practice in your mind first. Turn off your phone, cook your own foods, camp out. Camp out. That's great, deep divers. It's not a bad thing. Get back to the Earth.